Greetings fellow Nagorans and welcome to another Mafia 3 update, and this is my thoughts on the era. And I know this is a bit late, but I wanted to do the gameplay analysis video first and the interview video first, so this is coming now, and it is my thoughts on the era of Mafia 3. And as many of you know now, and I've said in a couple of videos, that it is 1968, 1968 and their version of New Orleans, which is a city that's never been explored before in a video game, and this is not a AAA game that I know of anyway, and this is an era which hasn't really been completely explored outside of the Vietnam War or Korean War time, so it's definitely very interesting to see how it's going to play out in a game, and I'm very much looking forward to walking around. I did think it was going to be between the 60s and 70s because the Mafia games do have this progression of a time period of going from, say, 20s in the late 20s in the first Mafia game to 40s and 50s in Mafia 2 to the 1968 late 60s that we're getting now. And I remember watching the trailer at Gamescom just last Wednesday and having a smile on my face when they played the music when they turned on the radio, when Lincoln Clay turned on the radio, and you just hear All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix, and I was just like, it's the 60s, and I was so happy. And then in the gameplay snippets, you hear songs like from the Kinks and the Rolling Stones, and you also getting the swinging jazz of New Orleans. It's going to be an incredible soundtrack to this game, and I'm very much looking forward to playing the radio and driving around the city and see how well it suits the game world. Because a lot of the screenshots that we've seen in the gameplay that we've seen, it very much looks like New Orleans how it did in the 60s, and a lot like how in areas that New Orleans looks like now, and it's a very good city to go to for this time period, because 1968 is a very turbulent year in American history and a very important year in American history, as you've got the Vietnam War, you've got the Martin Luther King assassination, the Robert F. Kennedy assassination, the civil rights movement as well going on at this time. There's a lot going on and a lot happening this year, so there's definitely going to be some references to that. And it looks like this game is very centered around the race problems that America was having at this time, because this is the year, where there was the Washington rally, the Civil Rights Washington rally, and this was the year when Martin Luther King, like I said before, got assassinated. So a lot happened this year with the Civil Rights Movement, and it was really gaining momentum to get into the almost completion moment. And it's really going to be interesting to hear how that plays out, and seeing the effect of, say, police officers on the African American people, and seeing how they react to different things, and seeing the black mob at this time is going to be really interesting. And to be honest, I'm really looking forward to just hearing the news, at the time, seeing the references to the major events that's going on in the country and the prelude to these events, and maybe even doing the odd quest around it. And like, one thing that would be really cool is maybe something like you're doing a mission, like you're doing a takeout on a bank or something like that. Let's just pull something out of the air, takeout on the bank. And then when you come outside and trying to get outside with no police, there's riots on the streets or there's protests because MLK died. And there's endless possibilities of what they can do at this time. And it's something that I'm very, very much interested in going into. Another thing that I like about the year as well is the cars. It's very much muscle cars at this time. And I just looking at them will make me happy enough, and the way that they look in this game is absolutely beautiful. And just driving around with that music playing and just looking around the city is going to be great, because they got the feeling so well, like the feeling of the era and the place so well in Mafia 2, and even in the first Mafia, but not as well as Mafia 2. And of what I've seen so far, they've captured it perfectly, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more stuff so that I can really forge my opinion correctly, which I urge all to do. I understand that a lot of people are really excited to play the game in this era, but we still have to see more stuff to see if they get it right. But what we've seen so far, them little bits of gameplay, the little bit of music that we heard in the trailer, it looks like they're on the right track. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Hayden Blackman and give a presentation at this at some point and take us through New Orleans to see what the city is actually going to be called, because this is a fictionalized version of New Orleans. It is not. They are using creative license. Like, one thing that Hayden Blackman said in a recent interview was that there's going to be tunnels under the city that you can enter with boats and things like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if that is as a tie to a quest or a mission or something. So very exciting times. And leave your comments below of what you think the era, what you think about the era, and how do you feel about New Orleans as a city to play through, and how do you think the civil rights movement and that will have an effect on the game? I'll be looking forward to hearing your comments. Also, coming up on the channel, I've got a Mafia 2 Let's Play which I'm going to be starting, because I feel like it would be worthwhile to do a couple of Let's Plays on the channel, and I think Mafia 2 is the best place to start with me doing the Mafia 3 coverage. Also, I'll also be doing a video on vehicle combat in the game, and generally my views on how Mafia 3 is at this moment, and what's happened over the past few weeks. It's been a good few weeks for Mafia fans. So yeah, please like the video, and if you enjoyed what you saw here, please subscribe to join the fellow Degorans. Goodbye.